Hello and welcome to another edition of Classic High School Football on Your View. I'm Chris Harris. We've got a very intriguing game on tap for you from Louisiana, a 4A versus 5A matchup between two of the top programs in the state, the St. Augustine Purple Knights and the Edna Karr Cougars from September 13th, 2013. You might recognize a certain running back for St. Augustine by the name of Leonard Fournette. Fournette went on to a storied career at LSU and was the number 4 overall pick by Jacksonville in the 2017 NFL Draft. Edna Karr wasn't without its share of star players. Devontae Speedy Noyle, the Cougars QB, went on to play wide receiver at Texas A&M and signed as a free agent to play for Seattle. Lots of offense and big plays in this one. We'll see you at the end of the first quarter. Enjoy St. Augustine versus Edna Karr from September of 2013.
Had a fine game last week in the opener as well, coming in after the first quarter and doing well against St. Paul's in the 34-12 win. We'll look at the starting lineups in just a moment. Noel hands off to his running back, exploding past the 50-yard line, and once again Karr getting some momentum as Deshaun Richardson battles for some big yards early on.
Big hole for Richardson there. Good chance to see the starting lineups.
Yes, indeed. And again, you look at Karr's receivers, Tolbert, Peterson, and Irons Jones. Richardson was listed as the starter, but he did not get the start. We'll take a look now at up front. When you talk about Karr offensively, guys like Alonzo Hunter this year moved from the right to the left side this season. Czar Smith from left tackle to right guard. And again, the Cougar offensive line, so important for what this Cougar football team does throughout the game. So a quick first down and already into St. Aug territory. Dylan Davis getting the start, getting another handoff, exploding close to the 30-yard line. And nice run again from Dylan Davis. All right, peak performance, St. Aug starting line, and you see some studs up front. Tim Dawson Jr., Marcette Andry, Courtney Garnett, and Peter Woolard make up the front. Now the linebackers with St. Aug equally as impressive with Craig Aguilar and Deshaun Murray. Secondary, maybe one of the top cornerbacks in the state, and Jermaine Roberts. We'll get to the rest in just a moment. And again, breaking the tackle, Davis still on his feet and making some big runs. And again, Dylan Davis is making it happen right now for the Karr Cougars, and it's been his show.
Well, on every play on this drive, Eric, he's gained at least 7 or 8 yards on every carry. That's pretty impressive. Great opening drive brewing here for Karr.
No question about it. Good look there. Karr defensively. There was St. Aug's Theron Williams just underway. Karr this time play action. He's going to throw his first pass of the game in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, and Peterson just could not hang on to it.
Excellent effort there by Peterson, going down, trying to come in with that one, but a little bit low for him.
No question about it. So again, Speedy Noel, this team all the way to a state championship a year ago. Noel last week, typical numbers, just about 100 yards receiving, 100 yards passing, and 3/4 of play running the option. Now Speedy's so tough in the open field, breaks one tackle and dives in past the 20-yard line, and he'll bring up, gets the first down. And again, this opening drive started with the Glen Irons return, and it did not take long at all for Karr to get into St. Aug territory, and they are marching here methodically, if you will, here in this opening segment, as they march into the Brian Harris Autoplex red zone. First and 10, just under 10 minutes to play. Speedy, now that's Deshaun Richardson. Richardson is met head on and will lose yardage. And again, that St. Aug defense with Andry and Garnett and Dawson Jr. and Woolard up front. This time they get the negative yardage on the first carry by the listed starter, Deshaun Richardson.
It's good to see St. Aug do that, especially in the middle, because the last 5-6 running plays for them, for Karr, I should say, have all amounted to big gains.
Good look at Peter Woolard, just one of the several big D1 commits. He's a two-lane commit. Speedy's going to tuck and run. He's got some open yardage at the 10, and he's into the end zone for the game's first touchdown. Speedy nonchalantly goes into the zone and strikes the pose in the end zone, and Karr will strike first in this battle of 4A powers from last year's quarterfinal matchup. Speedy Knoll into the end zone for the touch.
Speedy Knoll, as good as advertising, you get a chance to see the replay here. Great play call here, just walks in virtually, really untouched.
Yeah, look at him right there at the 5-yard line, already kind of in nonchalant mode, and then just making it look easy, and that's certainly what that young man has done throughout his days. Kick is up and perfect here at City Park. Beautiful look there at Tad Gormley Stadium. We go to break. Karr strikes first in this matchup of big battles. Leonard Fournette and company on deck offensively on the Cox Ford Game of the Week. Line as well. Jermaine Roberts right about the 1-yard line. It looked like he went in the end zone. That's you can kind of tell some of the situation where you thought he would be down. Of course, the ball goes in the end zone in a high school game. It's down and started at the 20, but no go here. So Toy Jackson will take over. He's the NOLACatholicLeague.com Player of the Week for his performance last week in the opener against McDonough 35, where St. Aug really just lit it up by halftime. So Toy Jackson, a 5'10", 180-pound senior, 16 of 22, 228 yards passing a week ago, and 3 touchdowns. This is his offense. He's got a star wearing number 5, but this is his offense. So here we go. Hand off to Fournette. Gets a block up front, but he is popped early on, and he will have negative yardage after a big hit up front from Karr's defense. Isaiah Washington with the hit. Fournette is your runner in the backfield. Watts, Morgan, and Holmes complement each other very well as the wideouts. Charles Jones at tight end, Williams, Rhodes, Harris, Moore, and Paul up front. So here we go. 8:38 left to go. Second down. Jackson's going to pass this time. This time it's complete. Shaking a tackle and getting extra yards. The fumble is out there, but Leonard Fournette, Johnny on the spot this time, picks up the loose ball after the reception. The peak performance, Edna Karr defense, and again, you're talking about guys like Gerald Willis and Jawan Williams that are D1 guys. Moses and Washington, big bodies up front as well. The linebackers, Lamar Martin, this guy is just a tough player. Love to watch him play. And Quanah Moore, watch for Walton as well. And the secondary, you're talking about McZeal, Ofre. Donnie Alexander listed as a strong safety. He plays more like a linebacker, defensive end hybrid. So we've got a first down back here at Tad Gormley. St. Aug's first offensive possession. Check that. We're going back the other way after the mayhem that just ensued. They come back. And that's Karr offensively with the complete pass with Kerry Taylor, their backup quarterback, hitting Jariah Tolbert in stride, and now they're in midfield.
That's how you start off a drive. We've seen Karr have a lot of success tonight here on offense. Great job here on defense and forcing the turnover on downs. And here they go marching again. Taylor
has problems with the snap. He's going to be fortunate if he can just maintain possession, and he falls on it. He was in shotgun formation. Looked like the snap might have surprised him a bit. But Kerry Taylor, he's a 6-foot, 155-pound senior who started last week against St. Paul's in that 34-12 win. Another look here at the snap. He had a couple of touchdown passes in the first quarter. He just missed it. Absolutely just missed it. Darren Hayes' snap was right on the money. So regrouping everywhere. In the broadcast booth, on the field, we got fire alarms. It's all about another Friday night football in South Louisiana. So here we go. Back to Kerry Taylor. Sets his man. Glenn Irons up. Irons puts the ball down. And he looks like maintains possession. And again, 7-0. And indeed, they get, again, avoiding big-time problems. 2 fumbles, but no turnovers on this drive.
Very fortunate to have 2 lucky bounces on back-to-back plays. Still able to maintain possession here.
Take a look at the loose ball again. They set up irons and just with a little help right there, loses the ball. Nice play.
Very fortunate bounce.
Theron Williams with the nice play, forcing it, and they're going to walk off. Looks like 15. So again, a little bit of extracurricular after the play. It might have been a personal foul. So St. Aug gets whistled for what looks like a personal foul. And
it's their 3rd penalty of the game. On their last drive, they had 2 penalties, back-to-back 5-yarders that really took them out of sync.
9 penalties last week in the win against McDonough 35, and we talked about that. It's, again, big time trouble with the penalties. He really wanted to, Coach Crutchfield, really get those down to a minimum. So here we go. Speedy Knoll back in the quarterback. The lefty wants to pass. Plenty of time. He's going up top. He's got a man, Peterson, and just couldn't get him. Peterson was being heavily pursued there. Good coverage by Jermaine Roberts. Again, one of the top cornerbacks in the country. A Texas commit, one of the premier corners really in the state as well.
Yeah, that one looked like it sailed on him a little bit. As you see, the ball tailed off towards the middle of the field, and the receiver was unable to make a play on it.
So 3:47. Karr up 7-0. Their 2nd possession of the game. Faking the handoff. Speedy Knoll going far sideline. He's hit. And hit hard. Out of bounds by Roberts. And again, nice play from Speedy. Again, elusive guy. Take another look at it, and it really looked like he handed the ball to Dijon Richardson, but no, he didn't.
Yeah, that side move right there is deadly. But what about this tackle? Look at that.
Yeah. No joke, Jermaine Roberts, 5'11", 175-pound senior, showing you why we're giving him all these accolades. Try to tackle Speedy Knoll in the open field sometime, and you'll see what we're talking about. Knoll wants to pass again. Going up top, going right to Roberts, and it's knocked in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Jariah Tolbert. Big 6'3", 190-pound tall, rangy guy. Couldn't haul that one in.
I believe Roberts got a hand on that. Looked like the receiver was actually coming down with it, and you get a chance to see it again here, and looks like it's right there in his hands. Now it just mishandled, but Roberts was definitely there stride for stride with Tolbert.
Good look at the WWL crew down there too. Do you see Deke and the guys? They had a nice view of that one. We should have sent it down to them for some more coverage of this one now. So it's a 4th down situation. Speedy's the punter as well. He's going to take some time, and now he's going to uncork one. We'll see where this one lands, where it bounces, where it ends. It looked like it hit a St. Aug player off the car, but quickly gobbled up. So near meltdown there from St. Aug, but they avoid disaster as Theron Williams comes up with the ball, and St. Aug will maintain possession on it. Again, both teams have had some near disasters, but yeah, take a look at the end of the play again one time, and Brandon, you can kind of see as the ball's bouncing around, you got to watch out if you're on the offensive end. Now watch out, and that ball looks like boom, it does. And nice reaction by Williams once it hit him. He was surrounded by white jerseys.
Awfully scary, and heard Coach Crutchfield talk about it in pregame, winning special teams, and that right there was almost a dangerous play that could have cost them.
Try it again. Trips right this time for Toy Jackson, deep in his own territory. From his own end zone, he's got Leonard Fournette at the 30-yard line, and let's watch Leonard go to work. Steps over one guy. It's a foot race now, and you can forget about it. Leonard Fournette into the house for a 90-yard screen pass that goes for a touchdown. Tremendously executed play. Great call by Coach Crutchfield.
I believe it will officially stand at 92 yards, if my math is correct. A 92-yard screen pass. what an outstanding play, and just he was wide open on the left side, and Fournette did the rest from there.
Yeah, no question about it. The 2 long touchdowns that he had last week as well, you could see he broke tackles not only at the beginning of the run, but at the end. This time you see them set it up in a perfect manner. Leonard Fournette had one man to beat, and he beats him right there. From there, it's a foot race, and you are not going to beat Leonard Fournette in the open field when it comes time to a foot race. Leonard Fournette, must-see TV, as promised. We're all tied here from City Park after this extra point attempt. Speaking too soon, and it's blocked. We are not tied at City Park at Tad Gormley Stadium. 7-6, Karr with the lead and a chance to now answer one of the more spectacular touchdowns you're going to see in a while. Leonard Fournette, maybe the #1 recruit in this country, getting the job done as we go to break. Karr on top, 7-6 with 3:08 to play in the first quarter. Cyril Crutchfield's happier now, a little bit more relief. 7-6, he's not pleased with that extra point. He talked about special teams being so important in a game like this. Leonard Fournette, a well-deserved rest. After one play, ITI scoring drive goes 92 yards. It took Leonard about 11 seconds to jump 92 yards on the touchdown catch. It will go down as again, Toy Jackson with the 4 TD pass of the season. And an extra point that was blocked, and it is 7-6 with 3:08 left to go in the first quarter. Crutchfield said earlier in the week, and really said last week after the McDonough 35 game, that he's really got the best seat in the house to kind of watch Fournette do his magic. And certainly those 2 long touchdown runs last week was just that. And if you saw him or saw the highlights, you saw how many tackles he broke, not only at the line of scrimmage, but downfield, he was still getting the job done. So here we go. Speaking of that, Glenn Irons with his attempt for a second big return. He's already in St. Aug territory. He's got a lot of white with him, and he's going to cut back, and he's going to go into the end zone. Glenn Irons, I'll see your 92-yard touchdown, and I'll match you with a return to the house. How about that for an answer?
91 yards, I believe, here. 91 yards on the kickoff return. He took it at about his own 9, saw daylight, and never looked back. We've seen this special teams unit accomplish so much here in this first quarter. You had to feel like he was close to breaking one. Get a chance to see it again here, and just misses. Tackle miss right there, another one miss right there, and he's just off to the races, not looking back. Makes a nice cutback here, and touchdown, Karr.
Unbelievable speed. You got a chance to see Mr. Irons do his thing. The opening kickoff was very impressive, but nothing close to that. This extra point, partially blocked, but it's going to make it through. So right now, Carl Roberson and company, Glenn Irons was the holder on that, but 13-6, and man, this is fantastic football. We knew it would be, and indeed it is. 14-6, 2:54 left to go, 3 touchdowns in this game, and you think Nathaniel Jones is finding out about all this right away? I mean, Jones is a Karr guy. He knows what it's all about, and he's finding out in front of us.
Look at the ITI scoring drive there, 14 seconds, 91 yards on the kickoff return for a touchdown, and you look at the last 35 seconds, the last 25 seconds in this one, Eric, 183 yards is covered, and we had 2 touchdowns in the book. So this game is shaping up to be as good as advertised.
Yeah, no question about it. And, you know, we got a good shot there at Karr's coach, Nathaniel Jones, just a moment ago. And this guy, I mean, first year's going pretty well. I mean, he's a guy, he's happy to be back. He was part of that Karr State Championship team in '93. Nathaniel Jones, the Karr head coach, was a wide receiver and cornerback during his playing days. Went to ULM as a safety, and man, he has coached all over. When we get more time, we'll talk about kind of Coach Jones's resume. It's taken him overseas to NFL Europe. He's coached collegiately, most recently at Texas San Antonio, and this young man is certainly back, and there he is, and really caught up in this game. He had his game face on before it started, and Here we go, back the other way, and the fireworks continue. That's Jermaine Roberts, and Roberts will take it up past the 40-yard line. So right now, both teams, big offensive guys, and the weapons on both teams, they are certainly making big play after big play. Domino's replay, take another look.
Fields it at about his 7-yard line, and he gets the proper blocking. Missed tackle right there, 2 missed tackles, 3 missed tackles, and is able to still turn upfield. It's a great play here by Karr special teams to really never give up pursuit of the ball. Brings him down. Hey, Eric, we could have had another touchdown just now.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And again, we're talking about at the onset 20 to 25 legitimate D1 prospects. You got talented, excellent football players all over the field. And when they're at full speed, and we're seeing guys in fourth gear, they're going to crank it, they're going to move it, and they're going to move it quick. So here we go. St. Aug one more time. Jackson, quick strike. That was complete. Very close to first down yardage. And again, getting the job done to these receivers. Stanley Morgan there with the catch. He had a couple of touchdown catches last week. And let me tell you, both touchdown receptions were excellent catches. In stride, he caught him. One at the back of the end zone. Stanley Morgan is a legitimate big-time threat.
Had a chance to see him last year against that game against East Jefferson, we talked about a little bit.
Jackson looked to Fournette, and then wide open, right back to Morgan. Morgan breaks a tackle, and he's inside the 15-yard line. So, man, this guy can get it done. Stanley Morgan. They got 2 big outside receivers that are absolute game changers. 2 touchdowns last week for Stanley Morgan, and he's racking up the yardage on this one. Field level replay this time for you, Brandon.
Get a chance to see right there from the action. Nice pump fake. Receivers wide open on the left sideline. Able to cut up field, and look, they're in Karr territory.
Absolutely. And, I mean, do not even mess with the remote right now, because if you do, you're going to miss a play that they may be playing someday for play of the year. Morgan with one hand can't bring it in. But again, a play just like that last week was his first touchdown catch. The second one was right in the end zone. But, man, again, they are putting the ball right there. Toy Jackson, can't say enough about this young man, how he has grown up in his leadership skills. He's a good baseball player, but right now he's being an excellent quarterback.
Defense had that one sniffed out. And good defensive play.
He'll try it again. Morgan, don't forget about Marlon Watts on the other side. Brian Harris Autoplex red zone. Jackson's going to run it at the 15, turns the corner, and he's tripped up. Nice play right there as he gets stopped after a nice gain, once again showing the versatility. Walton on the tackle.
It's a great tackle there. If that tackle's not made, Toy Jackson is probably making his way in the end zone right now. We have more points on the board. You get a chance to see number 7, Marlon Watts, just able to.
Tried the downfield block, but A for effort, and it certainly slowed down a defender in the process. Handoff's going to Leonard Fournette. He's following blockers, he's breaking tackles, and he's into the end zone. That's about as easy as it gets. When Leonard Fournette gets a block like he just followed Ryan Moore, he followed him almost right into the end zone. And just like Speedy Knowles' first touchdown of the game, Leonard Fournette, almost inside the 5, he knew he was in, kind of nonchalantly crossed the plane, and he has his second touchdown of the game. And again, watch number 54 pull and watch Fournette follow.
Just a big hole there for a guy that really doesn't need it. He can create. He's a monster. The man amongst boys, as we talked about. He's as good as advertised. And it's great to be here and have him on Cox 4 Game of the Week.
Kind of made fun of Marlon Watts a little bit with that downfield block in the previous play on Jackson's scramble, but let me tell you, Watts held up his defender on that last play and did a nice job of downfield blocking. So it's 14-12. They're going to line up and go for 2 this time. Fournette lined up deep in the eye. They'll fake it to him, quick toss, and just out of the outstretched hands of Leonard's younger brother, Leonard Fournette. So we'll keep it right here with the minute 15 to play in the first quarter as we try to catch our breath. There has been just about everything possible that has gone on in this first quarter of play, not only here in the booth, on the field, everybody catching their breath. But look, Leonard Fournette doesn't look like he's winded at all after 2 touchdowns to give St. Aug 12 points in this football game. They're down by 2 after a failed conversion and a missed extra point.
Well, Fournette was able to trot in the end zone there off a great drive that was really made possible by Toy Jackson finding Morgan twice on that scoring drive. We get a chance to see the ITI scoring drive, 5 plays, 61 yards, minute 39, capped off by a 10-yard touchdown run by Mr. Fournette. The drive was really aided by 2 big passes, including that long pass over 30 yards from Jackson to Morgan.
Fun football here, and again, you wonder, do they kick it back to Glenn Irons after what he has done? The impressive senior, smooth, great hands as a receiver, but right now he's been spectacular on this night as a return man, and he's the lone beat man back for the Cougars. Let's see that, yeah, they're going to keep it away from Mr. Irons. The ball was knocked and touched, and it goes out of bounds. I thought it touched the Karr player, but the flags come out. We'll see what the situation is with, man, what a quarter of football.
Well, if this penalty stands, and it did not touch a Karr player, the 4th penalty for St. Aug here in this quarter alone, Eric.
Figuring things out. We'll see if we get the call here in just a minute. You want big plays, you certainly get them so far in this game on both sides. As promised, this game living up to the billing. Let's see if we get the call.
35-yard line.
Well, we do know it's at the 35-yard line, so Coach Crutchfield, again, watching from the best seat in the house, number 5, do his thing. Coach Crutchfield in his 2nd year at St. Aug after leading South Plaquemine to a couple of state championships, 3 consecutive appearances at the Dome before Katrina wiped out his old high school at Port Sulphur. So he's been successful and highly successful at the top level at 3 high schools now in his career. Tremendous coach, good guy. Speedy Knoll hits Irons, breaks the tackle, getting close to the 40-yard line. Really, this game has been played kind of in this area. I mean, once they get to this part, it just seems like both teams have lived in the other team's territory throughout this first quarter of football.
It's been a great game thus far, and we're not even out of the first quarter, Eric.
So Speedy Knoll at quarterback in the eye. Gonna hand it off. And Dylan Davis, senior running back, gets close to first down yardage. You bring up 3rd and short. And again, that was one of the things too, and I didn't say it in the keys, going to practice this week at St. Aug, Coach Crutchfield said, again, you got to stay ahead of the chains when you play this Karr team, and that's certainly what they've done today. But real quick with that defensive front that the Cougars possess, to get yourself in some negative situations and some very long 2nd and 3rd down situations. Haven't seen many of those tonight. Going back to Davis, breaks the tackle. He's going to get the first down and inside Purple Knight territory, and that will be our end to the first quarter. And man, if the second quarter lives up to that, cannot wait. So again, there in TV land, hopefully both in Baton Rouge still and in New Orleans, keep it right here. St. Aug and Karr putting on a show with the Cougars up 2 at the end of 1 quarter of play in the Cox 4 game of the week. That hasn't ended in a touchdown after 2 or 3 plays. Speedy has somebody open, and he's got a man. 15-yard line inside the 10, and again, a nice play, again, for Karr, finding Kenneth Simmons, sophomore wide receiver. 9:19 left to go, and you can hear, and again, we'll say it again, you can hear clearly we are set up directly behind the Karr coaching staff, who are obviously excited about their biggest game of the year. So, again, that's where some of the noise is that you're hearing throughout the broadcast, coming from the Karr assistant coaches, who are overly excited about, obviously, and you can understand when they get excited about a game like this. You got to be into it. Speedy Knoll's going to take it himself, and not going to take it very far. And he's not going to take it far at all. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage as he makes it close to the 5-yard line.
He's able to pick up a few, actually a couple. Brings it down to right about the 6. And talk about the Karr offense getting it done, 2 for 3 for third down on this drive, including that big 4th down conversion.
Into the Gary Lewis Properties red zone. I believe I see big number 90 out there right now. Taking the handoff right up the middle inside the 5-yard line. Is that what I see out there? I did. I saw the Gerald Willis out there. Number 90, if you can tell. Right there he is. That's one of your best defensive ends in the country, playing on the offensive side. I don't know if he's eligible right now, but he's certainly playing at that right tackle position. I don't know if he reported eligible or not, but interesting formation here. Watch him go to the right side. No, they're going to go to the left side. And another defensive player is this time brought down. That was Javon Walton, number 7, brought down after a short gain. So an interesting formation right now. The Karr offensive coordinator, Bryce Brown, again, another alumni from the class of 04, actually was the first graduating class for Jabbar Jaloop. A good look there. St. Aug's number 40, Austin Craig, big defensive end, getting the job done, also plays some linebacker. So we get a timeout called with 7:38 left to go, and we'll keep it right here on this very, very important play on a 4th and 3. What do you do right now as far as this drive, the way it's unfolded, Mr. Rizzuto, after what you've seen? Cyril Crutchfield, the one who really wants to get things kind of talked over on the defensive side. What do you do here with both sides? What are you looking at?
Well, I think if you're Karr, you're going to stick to your guns and you're going to try and punch it in here and rely on your defense. If you cannot score, you rely on your defense to help pin this team back. You're within the 5-yard line. Ball's actually on the 3. If you're St. Aug, I'm stacking the line here, and I'm anticipating a run, and I'm trying to keep track of where Speedy is, because you have to feel like Speedy's going to be a huge part of what's going to happen right now.
Great call. Haley Acero is our third reporter, and we'll hear from Haley in just a second. But 7:38, we're going to find out what happens here. Again, 4th and 3, Cyril Crutchfield trying to beat his adversaries at Karr. And this is just a matching wits right now. Both teams got D1 talent littered all over the field. It's a thinking man's game as well tonight here at Tad Gormley Stadium. Dijon Richardson standing next to Speedy Knoll. Knoll's going to look for the pass. Got some time rolling to the right. Fakes the pass, still on his feet. Avoiding tacklers, but not for long. Nice play from St. Aug. Again, we see Craig involved in the tackle, and so is Marset Andrew.
And like we talked about, you see a late penalty flag fly here. Be interesting to see how this one shakes out, but you had a feeling that Speedy was going to be a part of that.
So again, penalties have kind of stuck both teams in this football game. And we'll hear the call.
Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, white.
So 15 more yards tacked onto that. Let's go to our third member of our broadcast team, Haley Acero, on the sidelines here at Tad Gormley Stadium.
Thanks so much, Eric. I'm here with Clement Berthelot and some fellow Farm Bureau insurance agents. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Clement, let's talk about what Farm Bureau Insurance offers its consumers.
Farm Bureau Insurance, first of all, is located at 1743 Stump Boulevard in Gretna, just minutes away from the G&O Bridge. We offer very competitive insurance portfolio for all of our members, very competitive auto insurance rates, homeowners insurance, 6 local agents that can help you with all your insurance needs.
And of course, the agents play a big role in insurance. They got to be friendly, and of course, all of you are. Talk about how your agents service people.
Yeah, that's a good point. Our agents are very hands-on. They're willing to meet with you in your home after hours, which is very convenient a lot of times for people who work, and so we can come to you a lot of times, which makes things much more convenient. You can call the office, schedule your insurance review. Office number is 227-2345, and schedule an appointment. Our agent will be happy to meet with you.
Absolutely. That's real service, real people. Farm Bureau Insurance. Eric, Brandon, back to you.
Haley, as always, nice job. thank all of our sponsors here helping us out in the Cox 4 game of the week. St. Aug with the ball. And this is out of the Wildcat. Leonard Fournette worked on this in practice. You know, I was shooting some video highlights, Brandon, for the newly formed NOLACatholicLeague.com. And Coach Crutchfield and I, you know, been friends for a while. He says, come on out to practice. I'm getting video of Fournette running out of the Wildcat and passing some as well. He goes, Eric, what are you doing? When are you going to show this? I'm like, well, if you don't want me to show it, I'll wait till after the game. But he ran this quite a bit. He said he's going to show him a different look, and right now he's showing it to him. But so far, this Karr defense has not been very surprised, and up front they make the play again. Quantum Moore, number 44, in on the tackle again, as well as Donnie Alexander, and really haven't called Donnie's name much tonight, and Donnie is such a great player. An LSU commit, number 6, is a guy that is just a force. There's Isaiah Washington, 91, again, really the lone young guy up front with seniors all over him, with Willis and Moses and Williams. So here we go. Leonard Fournette getting a series of downs, running from the shotgun, and like he did in practice, he's going to pass as well, and he gets a big first down, complete to his tight end. And again, St. Aug getting the job done. That's Charlie Jones, 6'3", 240-pound senior, getting the pass completion from Leonard Fournette. So, you know, why not get some passing yards to go along with everything else that Leonard does?
Well, he's #1 recruit in the country for a reason, and not the prettiest pass, but gets the job done. Gets the first down.
You know, Leonard's going to see this in the replay. Leonard, that was Brandon Rizzuto that made that call. Said it wasn't very pretty. I thought it was kind of Tebow-esque, the way he kind of was up in the air a little bit, kind of flipped it. Fournette's going to stay back there in the pocket and do what he does, a little delay, stutter step. That is a fabulous defensive play by linebacker Javon Walton. Walton just all over that play right there. You think it's easy to bring down Leonard Fournette like that? Try it sometimes. Walton making the play. That was solid.
A loss of 1 there. Bring up a long second down as we see Fournette still in the backfield.
Again, the stutter step, kind of a delay. Man, is he just barreling through the defense right now. That's a first down, and wow, he put his head down and absolutely laid out the defender. Leonard Fournette is listed at 6'1", 225. You can see the young man is built like a rock. Let's see who he knocked out here in this peak performance replay. Brandon, see if you can see it. It happened right about here. He's going to put the head down. Bang! Wow, didn't see the number, and that's kind of what the defender's saying right now. He didn't catch the number at all.
Yeah, outstanding play. Mr. Fournette definitely earns the mister here in this game thus far.
Yeah, Fournette's coming out of the game. He just got a quick run as we were showing that last replay of him just knocking over people, but he needs a breather. Just under 5 minutes left to go. Leonard getting some water, getting a breather after bringing this team inside the 20-yard line into the Gary Lewis Properties red zone. 4:47, St. Aug is marching. Toy Jackson back in, starting quarterback. Quick pass, complete, turning, and scoring. That's a touchdown to Stanley Morgan for the 3rd time this season. Stanley has found pay dirt, and that play right there, Toy Jackson is just showing his leadership. I mean, a quick strike, and man, he found his guy, and credit Stanley Morgan, too, for that spin and win into the end zone.
Get a chance here to see Morgan just overpower his defender there on the tackle attempt and just focused, head down and into the end zone, and nice 17-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Toy Jackson has really been impressive, not only in this game, but so far this season. He was highly impressive as a junior, but this is the year that he's all grown up, and really the offense starts with him. That's what Crutchfield said. Coach Crutchfield said that sure, Leonard Fournette's going to get the headlines for a reason. He's one of the best players in the country, but his offense starts with Toy Jackson and the decisions that he makes. You see Coach Crutchfield calling for a timeout now, and again on these extra points after the touchdowns, they've been a nightmare for him so far tonight. And again, he'll go for the 2, but special teams. It's what Coach Crutchfield harped on this week at practice. After the story I just told you, where he was yelling at me a little bit for shooting video of Leonard running out of the shotgun, he went right into the field goal situation. He goes, Eric, you can have at it. Shoot highlights of this all you want. But and again, his kicker, number 35. 31, excuse me, Zachary Nelson is a senior, and they just kept backing it up 5 yards, and the pressure of his teammates as well, just kind of watching him right there, and he moved back 5 yards, and he said, really, that's what this game, he felt, will boil down to was who wins the special teams, because I don't know if you can say it equals out with the star players and the Speedy Knowles and the Leonard Fournettes, but he said it will come down to special teams, and so far his special teams has let him down both on the coverage, as Irons has taken one back to the house and taken one deep as well in his second return, but also he's missing extra points and a failed conversion. So on their third touchdown, let's see what they can do. With an 18-14 score, they'll go for 2. Leonard Fournette is next to Toy Jackson in the backfield. Jackson is going to put it up for grabs, and it goes over the head of his intended receiver, Marlon Watts, so a failed conversion again. With 4:34, we head to break, and we catch our breath as the Purple Knights have taken its first lead of the game, up 18-14, 4:34 left to go in this first half of play on the Cox Ford Game of the Week. St. Aug up 18-14. Welcome back to the Cox Ford Game of the Week. Edna, Karr, St. Aug, Purple Knights, Cougars. What a game. Good look at Nathaniel Jones, first-year head coach at Karr. Had a chance to speak to him this morning. Great guy, all business, and was excited about this one. And Toy Jackson right now stopped at the line of scrimmage, and again, nice defensive play by those linebackers, Quantum Moore, Javon Walton. And you brought up an interesting point during the break, Brandon. We just saw something on the offensive side we haven't seen all game.
Yeah, we saw Karr go 3 and out for the first time here in the game, and there's a big win on the St. Aug sideline for that defense.
Interesting, all the stats you're doing. Good to see Jacoby Harris getting up too. He kind of got rolled up against the St. Aug center, was throwing a block and got rolled up as Jackson was trying to elude the sack. Fournette gets the ball 5 yards in the backfield, breaking tackles all over, getting a block, runs into the referee, about the only guy that can stop him now. Now 3 Karr jerseys bring him down at about the 31-yard line, but again, almost every time he touches the ball, it's a highlight type run, no matter how many yards he gets.
And Karr was able to get a nice assist there from the guy in stripes.
I love the call, and again, he just avoids the tackle from Williams. And then, look at this, referee, whoa! That's about the only guy that can slow a guy like Leonard Fournette down is the zebra stripes. Now, I don't know if he gets credit for an assist, but...
Good to have 12 guys on the field for you, right?
It's about how many you need at least. Clock still running. Jackson's got a man, and he completes it. And that is number 10, Greg Holmes, the slot receiver. And again, just the little guy amongst the big wideouts with Stanley Morgan and Marlon Watts on both sides. But Greg Holmes, number 10, really a complimentary back. Speedy, shifty. And again, along with Morgan and Watts, they all complement each other. Third and 15.
Outstanding group of receivers, and you talk about prospects. You just look at those 3 right there to your left. Outstanding talent, ready for the next level.
So trips to the left. Everybody headed that way. Jackson looked to the right. Now he's going to fire it up, and wide open. Looks like Stanley Morgan breaks it inside Karr territory to about the 47-yard line. Stanley Morgan having not only a good game, but a good season after a tremendous Week 1 performance against McDonough 35.
Remember seeing Stanley Morgan last year, and the game against East Jefferson. We had a lot of great games last year in the Cox 4 Game of the Week, and we're sitting here Week 2 with this primetime matchup, and glad to see some of these young men back.
St. Aug getting the job done without Leonard Fournette on the field right now. Morgan steps around, and he's going to not only catch the ball, but draw the flag, and he doesn't even need a flag. I don't need no flag. Stanley Morgan is right now making things happen and is a game changer. That's right. Stanley Morgan making the play. And again, how about the pass from Toy Jackson, lobbing it right to his man in stride? I mean, highly impressive.
Chance to sort out this penalty.
Offensive pass interference. Toy Jackson says, what?
That's a huge play right there.
Wow. That pass looked right on the money, and again, we'll take a look. Peak performance. Brandon, take us through it. Let's see if this one was warranty of an offensive PI.
You see Toy Jackson here, totally in tune here with Morgan. Wow, that's tough. That's a game-changing play and a game-changing call. You hate to take that away from the young man, but that was an outstanding catch. And you know, unfortunately, the guys down on the field, they only get one look at it, and it's the live look. They don't get the chance to see the replays up here.
And we had it slowed down, too, to see that Stanley's hand barely touched his shoulder pad. And, you know, in a game with full force, you're going at it, Stanley's eyes still kind of like, what are you doing? A timeout's called by the Karr Cougars right now. 48 seconds. We'll keep it right here as this half comes to getting close to a close. But, man, what a differential in field position, because, man, Stanley Morgan down there close to the 10-yard line. Now they're back in their own territory. They're close, the 45-yard line now is the line of scrimmage. And you see Stanley pleading his case to one of his assistants on the sideline. And, man, game-changing call right there.
Yeah, you just read it perfectly. They're sitting at the Karr 48-yard line, and a penalty like that puts them way back in their own territory, and you're just looking at something that's a total momentum shifter here in the game. You've seen, just like we talked about Karr being stopped, first 3 and out of the football game, offense comes out firing. Toy Jackson, Stanley Morgan really showing some chemistry here, and especially on that play, and unfortunately it's wiped.
Yeah, and those last 3-4 plays came with Leonard Fournette taking a breather. Number 5 in purple is back on the field with 48 seconds left to go. Second quarter, Fournette kind of pounding the chest. Let's see what happens here. Power versus power in this one. Fournette is back not only in the game, but out of the Wildcat again. Looking to pass, and he's going to fire it up. Let's see what happens. Coming back for his Watts. Makes the catch at the 20, the 5, into the end zone. What a play by Marlon Watts coming back to get the catch, and what a throw by number 5. He does it in the ground, and, man, Leonard Fournette just showed off the gun as well.
You talk about momentum. We just talked about taking momentum away from St. Aug. What do? They put the football right back in their Top Gun, their blue chip. You get a chance to see the peak performance replay right here. Just, you don't know what this guy's capable of. You think he's going to tuck it and run, and then just launches one down the field. Excellent play by Watts. Catch it, look upfield. And there was no stopping him here, as you get a chance to see it in slow motion. This guy does it all, Eric. It's just amazing to watch him play and to think what he can do on the next level. It's just great to be here tonight.
Fournette showing off the arm. And again, these wide receivers certainly highlight reel guys as well. Again, the extra point is blocked. And again, the special teams faulting for St. Aug, as Zachary Nelson is yet to convert. Good look over there at Marlon Watts, 6'4", 200-pound senior. He had a touchdown last week. Give him another one as well. Stanley Morgan had 2 last week. He's got 1. And I think really the stat that's going to stand out with the big star is going to be 1 long touchdown pass by Leonard Fournette. And that's where we stand now at 24-14 with just 38 seconds left to go in this first half of play. Take another look at this play on this peak performance replay. Leonard Fournette, again, running the shotgun, getting a great block up front, and really had some time before he let go, before he got leveled. And, man, Watts, presence of mind, comes back for it, beats his man. McZeal didn't have a chance once he got beat because Watts had the mojo, and he took it right into the end zone for the long touchdown. How many yards did you get that at? What'd you get?
Looking at a 63-yard pass completion there.
63-yard touchdown pass. So what do we got? Fournette is 2 for 2 passing. He had the 1 pass to Tebow like when he kind of jumped.
2 for 2 passing. He's got a passing touchdown. He's got 2 touchdown runs.
Big time football here. It looked like Fournette actually kicked it off as well. A little squib kick goes out of bounds. So the flags come down. So 38 seconds left, the Marine scoring drive. And again, 5 plays, 74 yards. Watts with the 63-yard touchdown reception from number 5, Leonard Fournette. His first touchdown pass of the season, maybe of his career. I mean, he's had a storied career from the time he was a freshman. His first 3 games on a varsity level, 3 consecutive 200-yard rushing performance.
We joked around earlier, and I caught you laughing in pregame. You know, he's been the #1 recruit since he was born. So, you know, this young man is definitely a special athlete. Get a call here from the official.
You know, I asked him at practice this week as well when we talked to him for NOLACatholicLeague.com. We said, you know, Leonard, for somebody that doesn't know anything about your career, that hasn't seen you play and, you know, doesn't know anything about you, what do you want people to know about Leonard Fournette? And you know what he said? My name is Leonard Fournette, and I just want you to watch what happens on Friday. That's all he said. That's all he said. And you see Cyril Crutchfield right now, and again, the disciplinarian that he is, talking to some of the guys on his sideline right now. And again, with 38 seconds left to go in the first half, it's kind of like a lead at Wrigley Field. Nothing's safe. With 38 seconds left, we could have 2 touchdowns before this half is over.
You see St. Aug gain the lead here. 38 seconds left. They will get the ball to start the second half. So this is a crucial drive here for Edna Karr.
What'd you just say, the second half? That's not 38 seconds left in the game? It sure feels like we played a complete football game already from Tad Gormley Stadium. Scoreboard feels like it. And at quarterback right now, it's Kerry Taylor. Taylor throws to Speedy Knoll, and again, Knoll gets tackled by Leonard Fournette. Fournette now playing defense. So time goes down. You can see it right there. Stop to 28 to move the chains. Kerry Taylor threw a couple of touchdown passes against St. Paul's in the opener. Pressure. Gets rid of it just before he gets brought down by linebacker Austin Craig. And the 3-year starter, number 40, is having himself a game defensively. Austin Craig making the play 20 seconds after the incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock. Courtney Garnett, a Texas commit. He had a sack last week against McDonough 35. Big number 50 up front. As promised, I don't know what else you wanted us to do as far as telling you how good this football game was going to be. We circled it on the calendar the day we made the decision to do this game, and that was back in the summer. And couldn't wait till this day got here, and it has lived up to the billing. Taylor throws it, and it's intercepted by St. Aug. Kelly Aguilar with the interception with 15 seconds left to go, 24-14. So the first big turnover of the game. We'll take a look at the replay. Kerry Taylor, the 6-foot, 155-pound senior, had some time across the middle. But again, the pressure came, the ball was tipped and picked. St. Aug's linebacker making the play. Big
number 52, Aguilar. We talked about him previously, coming up with a huge tackle that could have led to a big gain here by Karr, which led to their last offensive series 3 and out. This one is a 3 and out as well, but ends with an interception.
Yeah, St. Aug's defensive coordinator Mike Lee all smiles right now. His defense making that final stop in a game like this, to stop the mojo in a half like this, as again, that'll bring an end to this first half after Walton comes in.
It's halftime on Classic High School football in your view. We hope you're enjoying this game from September of 2013 between the St. Augustine Purple Knights and the Edna Karr Cougars from New Orleans. It's 24-14 Purple Knights, and the Cougars have yet to figure out a way to slow down Leonard Fournette. The big back has run for a touchdown, thrown for a score, and caught a 93-yard TD pass to hit the trifecta. Edna Karr, ranked number 1 at the time in the Metro rankings, is going to have to make some halftime adjustments, and that's where great coaching comes in. The Cougars, undefeated state champs in 2012, had to find a way to contain Fournette. We'll see what they do. The second half is coming your way.
In and seeing some of the early highlights that you might have missed, touchdown galore. But Brandon Rizzuto, you were just reeling off some numbers to me that had me saying, wow.
Sitting up here doing double duty, and you know, my former background as a statistician, I get into it, and I love doing the stats. And sit down and look at the penalties in this game, and it's kind of lopsided. St. Aug, something Coach Crutchfield talked about, had 6 penalties for 51 yards here in the first half. Karr, only 1 penalty for 15 yards. And you look at the plays, you sit down and talk about how many offensive plays and total yards. Karr ran 33 offensive plays here in the first half for a total of 172 yards. St. Aug, 28 total offensive plays, 324 yards. I've sat down and added that number up 4 times just to make sure it's correct. And you look back at it, they had a 92-yard scoring play. They had a 63-yard scoring play. It's very well possible, and that is just astronomical to me. But what stands out to me the most is when you think about Karr, they had that 14-play drive that ended with no points. Following that drive, there was 2 drives where we went 3 and out, and the other one was with an interception. So something to watch there and see how this momentum swings.
Well done. 324 yards of total offense by St. Aug. And again, Karr with the early highlights early on in this football game, and now they must kick it off to St. Aug. And we heard Coach Crutchfield as he went to the locker room at halftime saying, we get the ball first here in half number 2 as we get ready for what should be some exciting drama from Tad Gormley Stadium. And again, these 2 teams met twice last season. They played jamboree style. Karr won, I believe it was 14-12. And of course, the score last year in the 4A quarterfinals, it was Karr once again over St. Aug, 28-12, ending Coach Crutchfield and his Purple Knights season 2 wins away from the Dome. And 1 win away from the Dome, 2 wins away from their ultimate goal as a state championship. And good look over there, Ron Bricado. He's got the headphones on over there in the shorts, the khaki shorts. He is Mr. Catholic League. Let me tell you, the guy, when they did the documentary Glory Days, look, the referees are actually going over to Ron Bricado right now. I mean, this is a guy who has certainly has the history of the Catholic League pretty much wrapped up, and he is a guy that we are happy to have on board with us.
When I was in college, I was interning with WGSO, and Ken Trahan, along with yourself, do a great job of covering high school athletics, and Ron was there, and Ron is just an outstanding person. He gets it done. He's widely respected. And just like you said, he is a living historian when it comes to the Catholic League. Yeah, no question about it. We are thrilled to have him on NOLACatholicLeague.com. He's the guy that really runs the show. He forgot more about the Catholic League tonight than I'll ever know. And I'm certainly trying to do my homework and catch up. And Ron Bricado, and we're honored to have guys like him and guys like Will Pennegy and Bill Bumgardner, guys that, they've been covering high school football since the 60s. We had one of our first meetings. They were talking about covering high school. Hey, you remember the night that the day that President Kennedy got assassinated? They were covering high school football in South Lafourche. I mean, it goes on and on. The stories that these guys have. When they did that documentary Glory Days, I just was saying, our producer in the truck tonight, Jacob Doyle, his big brother Ryan Doyle was a producer of that. Who wrote most of that? That guy we're looking at right there, Ron Bricado. Mentioned Will Pennegy too, just another class act, great guy. My time at UNO as a student, and in my time at UNO as a grad student, currently had Mr. Pennegy for a couple classes, and it's like having coffee every day. All the stories that you hear, and you got yourself a great lineup, Eric.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. We're thrilled to bring some bumps along the road. The website has actually been up for a grand total of 7 days. So we're set to go. Carl Roberson is going to just a little squib kick here, keeping it away from Fournette, and it looked like it was offsides against Karr, and they'll back it up and try it again. And again, after 3 touchdowns from Fournette, you can understand why they wouldn't want to kick it deep. Carl Roberson, he's a good kicker, left-footed kicker, number 19, for first-year head coach Nathaniel Jones. Been impressed with that head coach, the first-year head coach, and the intensity that he has, the focus that he has, and again, just talking about his team, talking about his game with great passion, great pride. Again, very focused before this game started, and I think Karr's in certainly good hands with Nathaniel Jones at the helm.
Definitely picked up right where they left off, and they had a great leader in Jabbar. Had to take that opportunity at Louisiana Tech. It was too good for him to pass up. With Coach Jones, just great to have him there, and we'll get to see him more often. You talked about earlier how Coach Crutchfield was apprehensive about what you were filming at practice. How many great coaches do we have in the local metro area with great personalities? They're just great people.
It's true. It really is. Great point. Roberson will try it again. This time he will kick it deep. Fielded at just about the 2-yard line. St. Aug turning it upfield. That's Jermaine Roberts. Roberts back to his home sideline, close to the 20-yard line, and that's where the Purple Knights will start it here in the third quarter. And it's great to see Jermaine Roberts. If you just joined us, he was hobbling away from the ball on a play, barely made it to the sidelines. They worked on his calf for quite a while. Now, again, this time of the year, you're going to see plenty of cramps. We saw probably double digits last week in our New Orleans Cox Ford game of the week at West St. John. Not very many tonight, but certainly Roberts had a big-time one earlier in this game. So, at the 19. Sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
No, we talked about establishing momentum and getting some of it back. This is a crucial drive here for Edna Karr coming out of the locker room at halftime.
Trying to make a statement. In the first drive, the statement that time was made defensively. And a great job up front by Williams, big defensive tackle, headed to Oklahoma State, verbally committed, as many of his teammates did. Another Oklahoma State we haven't even talked about commit is Jawan Ofre, 5'11", 165-pound senior cornerback, also thinking about playing football for the Cowboys. Jackson, again, shotgun. Leonard Fournette was next to him. Jackson's going to turn it, going to keep it, and kind of advancing the ball close to the 26-yard line, a little extra yard with the stretch. Still probably at least 3 yards away from the first down. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3.
Great tackle there by Walton, able to reach and extend himself and bring down Toy Jackson. Man, hats off to these guys here on defense. I would not want to face anybody on either of these offenses here tonight.
Probably closer to 3rd and 5 now. Again, no Leonard Fournette right here in the first series. His younger brother Leonard takes the pitch, though, and is going to be stopped about 2 yards shy of a first down. So that brings up a 4th down situation for St. Aug. And as you said earlier, in the second quarter, we haven't seen too many 3-and-outs in this football game. Probably one all night.
Great to see this from this Edna Karr defense, and we talked about coming out of the locker room and establishing some momentum here. We have a young man that's down on the field. You see Coach Jones coming out, telling him to stay down.
Donnie Alexander, LSU commit. He's listed as a strong safety, but plays more like a linebacker D-end.
See athletic trainer Patrick Maloney running out there. Patrick, been knowing Patrick for a couple of years now. He's an outstanding trainer. He's an even better person, and that young man's in good hands right now.
See, Donnie, that's a good sign right now just to get up. And again, this is a guy who plays all out. Cox Ford game of the week. Again, it's just week number 2. And last year we were just full of great games, great matchups, great traditions. Nathaniel Jones, you see him right there, give Donnie some extra motivation. Again, these are the games that are going to be on CST. Now, you got a game of the week in Lafayette, a game of the week in Baton Rouge, and a game of the week in New Orleans. CST, they pick the best of the best. And next week, it'll be a dual market game. A New Orleans team and a Baton Rouge team as Jesuit travels to Central. Later in the season, it's Sulphur and New Iberia over west. Sulphur taking on Holy Cross tonight. Then a game that we brought you last year, Destrehan and Hahnville. Back to action. And there we go. Mr. Irons, stutter step. It's going to gain about 10 yards. Go back to, we left you at Destrehan and Hahnville. Then on October 11th at Zachary and Plaquemine. At Fontainebleau and Covington. Doing it North Shore style on the 18th. Talk about traditions. Rummel and Jesuit, are you kidding me? We've got some fantastic games. Denham Springs and Zachary. I mean, the list goes on and on. Can't wait to bring you these games throughout the year. Only week 2, we've got a long way to go, not to mention the playoffs. Just underway in the second half. St. Aug 3-and-out. And here comes the first offensive play from Karr, incomplete pass. The flag comes out. Looks like we'll have a pass interference as once again we're seeing Terry Taylor, the a backup quarterback to Speedy Knoll, but a guy who certainly shows that he can manage the offense and move the chains. A couple of touchdown passes a week ago. We'll look there at Jermaine Roberts. I don't know where the penalty's going to go, but certainly it looks like it will go against St. Aug.
And that was Speedy Knoll, the intended receiver. Had 2-on-2 out there. As we await the call here from the officials, we talked about penalties in the first half. St. Aug suffered 6 penalties. Karr only fell victim with 1. Started off this opening half with a penalty on the Karr side for their second of the game. I think there might be some debate here whether the ball was actually catchable. It did look like it sailed a little high.
And that's the talk right now. And again, this is a Karr team that won the state championship just a year ago. Speedy Knoll at quarterback in that game, and he did a lot of his damage in the air. Passed quite a bit. I thought we would really see Speedy run all over the dome floor. Here's the call.
Fouls. Interference. Offense. Was off. We're going to down.
So we apologize for our audio difficulties, but you can pretty much make it out. We had 2 fouls in the play, and it looked like offsetting interference calls. It makes you go, huh? Nathaniel Jones says, what? I'm sorry, say that one more time? Yeah, 2 penalties on the play, and again, offsetting, and we'll do it again.
Offensive pass interference almost ended a St. Aug drive, but they fought back and got the momentum on the ensuing play.
Taylor to Irons, gets a nice block, breaks a tackle, turns upfield, but he walked out of bounds. The block came from Kenneth Simmons, downfield number 3, just as Irons caught the ball. He rolled off the block from Simmons and stepped out of bounds. And we got a good look at it, I believe, down there in the truck. They're going to go to a replay here, our Farm Bureau insurance replay. Did he step out of bounds here? Here's a good look. Ooh, kind of screened. Yeah, he did. Right foot certainly stepped out of bounds the 3rd time. Couldn't tell in those steps just before. So give him a gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Irons kind of on the reverse, trying to turn the corner, but he is not going to be able to because St. Aug's Dijon Murray is all over that play. And again, flags on the play.
Flag between the 2 teams in the first half, only 7 penalties.
Only one against Karr, as you pointed out.
Offense. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense. Both fouls will be penalized.
Wow. So what? You bring it back 20 or 25 on the hold?
25 all said and done.
Hold is 10 and the unsportsmanlike is 15. So, man. Chain Gang's going to get some serious work on this one. 9:42 again. Big time fireworks in the first quarter. It was 14-12 at the end of the first quarter. See if we see the hold. Yep, wide receiver, top of the screen. It was Speedy, and then going to throw him, and then we lose him from the screen, but Speedy went towards him. Speedy with the first touchdown of this game on a 19-yard scamper. And that set the tone for what we would see as a big play kind of night from Tad Gormley. Knowles sat out the first quarter of the opener over St. Paul's that the Cougars smoked St. Paul's 34-12. And again, Kerry Taylor played a big part in that game. Glenn Irons had a couple of touchdown receptions. Joshua Peterson, same way. Haven't heard number 8 name called much tonight. On the other side, St. Aug opened the season with the 47-12 win over McDonough 35. In that game, 11 penalties, though, for 92 yards. Taylor this time is going to turn and run, but again, an athletic Purple Knight defense swarms all over that play. Big-time defensive play there. Marset Andry led the charge as well as Tim Dawson Jr. That'll bring up the again, after the double penalties, I mean, you need a calculator to find out how many yards you need for the first down.
It's easily 3rd and 30 plus right now for this Karr offense. And just an unfortunate hole to put yourself in right now. Let's see what they dial up.
See what Bryce Brown, the offensive coordinator of this Karr Cougars team, calls on his 3rd and 30 play, and that play was almost picked off. Incomplete pass as they attended it to Dylan Davis, and that'll bring up a punting situation. And again, both teams defensively hold on their first crack at it here in half number 2.
Talked about sustaining momentum here in the first half and then moving forward to the second half. Karr comes out and gets a huge stop. Unfortunately, cannot capitalize offensively.
So the punt, a short one from Speedy, and it's taking a St. Aug roll, and it is finally downed by Karr. Brian Anderson at around the 40-yard line. Flag on the play. And again, suddenly a lot of laundry on the field here at Tad Gormley, and the pace of this game has come to a brutal halt.
Coach Jones is signaling here. Looks like it's going to work against.
Yep, he just motioned it was against St. Aug. So again, a lot of debate by the crew tonight here, especially in this early part of the third quarter of a 24-14 game. We step aside in the Cox Ford game of the week. 8:45 left to go, third quarter of play. St. Aug up by 10, 24-14. At home. We're on to go here, third quarter of action. Handoff, nowhere to go, and again, the defensive front from Karr flexing its muscle as Leonard Fournette is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. And again, number 90, Gerald Willis, making his 2013 season debut, and he has been in on some tackles, even played a little offense.
Boy, this place is rocking right now, Eric. You hear the bands going.
8:18 left to go, third quarter of play. Neither team has scored. Big Charlie Jones in motion. One of their tight ends, I saw Pettigrew, their backup tight end, in the game just a moment ago as well, the young sophomore. Jackson is going to fire across the middle, in and out of the hands of Watts, nearly intercepted. And again, Jackson put a little mustard on that one. Watts was over the middle and looked like a catchable ball, but again, he had some juice on it. No question about Toy Jackson's got a gun. He's a good baseball player for a reason.
Farm Bureau Insurance replay here. You see Jackson put it in the hands of his receiver there, and oh man, he's going to wish he had that one back. Look at Anderson. He knows it too.
He almost got screened, kind of like in hockey when a goalie gets screened by one of his defenders. He got screened by a teammate there, never really had a clean look at it after it went out of the hands a while. So we'll try it again. Big 3rd and 10 situation. And whistle, flag comes down. I don't think it was a delay. Was it a delay or movement? What did you see, Brandon?
Prior to the snap,
false start. So we'll back it up 5. It's a 3rd and 10 turning into a 3rd and 15.
It's actually a good bailout there for Edna Karr. I think they were trying to do some substitutions, and you saw a big defensive tackle run on the field. They're about to call a timeout. Works in their favor. We'll see if this break goes somewhere.
Again, have not seen Leonard Fournette in the second half. Now, this is the second offensive possession here by the Purple Knights. Toy Jackson setting up the screen, and he is absolutely tattooed. What a play by Lamar Martin. Absolutely took out Leonard's little brother, Leonard, on the screen. They set it up brilliantly, but man, not much you can do with Lamar Martin, who they say could bench press the whole weight room if he had to. Look at this hit at full blast. He comes and gets it.
That's big time. That's next level type play right there. Sees it all the way. Didn't have a chance for that one to develop. An outstanding play there. It's a punting situation here for the Purple Knights.
So David Bartholomew out to punt. And again, second consecutive series. Are you resting Leonard Fournette right now? I know he didn't play the second half of the McDonough 35 game, but you'd already scored 40 points in that one. And Fournette had already had 159 yards on 4 carries. Wonder what the issue is here. Irons right now wants to add more to him, not even with his jersey on right now. We're going to see if we can find out some information, see if we can send Haley Acero over to the other sidelines to find out what's going on with the #1 player in the country with his jersey off. Did not see him get injured, but certainly as we went to break, they saw him stretching out the leg. And he certainly has had a lot of work done in this football game. So, Kerry Taylor back at quarterback. Irons in motion. Handoff to Davis. Davis's pop, ball's on the ground. St. Aug looks like they got it, and indeed they do. St. Aug comes up with the money play. Theron Williams has played out of his mind. Now, we told you earlier about maybe a guy that he might remind you of from St. Aug, playing just his second game, is undersized, he makes plays. Number 6, he got leveled on that play, but never gave up. Never gave up. And you see it was Brandon Williams who caused the fumble, but watch number 6 somehow step back into your frame and come up with the loose ball as St. Aug takes over after the fumble. There he is, and the guy that Coach Crutchfield, dare I say, reminds him of? The little honey badger, another St. Aug guy. You talk about St. Aug guys like Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, Tyrone Hughes, Leroy Horde. How about some basketball players like Avery Johnson, Kerry Kittles? The list goes on and on. Jackson throws it out of bounds. And a flag comes out just at the very end of that play with just under 6 minutes to go. And Brandon, did you see it?
I think there's going to be some debate whether he was still in the pocket or not, and he threw that away.
Possible intentional grounding, and certainly he threw it just as that ball went out of bounds.
Exactly what they call here. It's a huge penalty right now in the game because Karr, who's struggling to get something going on either side of the ball, that would definitely push this team back further. Definitely been a potent offense.
The illegal forward pass, the loss of down, 2.
So they lose the down on the illegal forward pass. Torrey Jackson will try it again. With St. Aug up by 10, under 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter now. Great football game here from Tad Gormley Stadium. Glad you're with us on this evening. Beautiful night. Week 2 of the high school prep season. Jackson again setting up the screen pass to Leonard Fournette. He broke one last week, not going to do so this time on a fine defensive play by Quantum Moore. The linebacker came up and made the tackle. Leonard Fournette, 2 touchdowns last week, had a touchdown run and a touchdown reception, just similar to that play, except he was headed in the opposite direction. He took it about 60 yards. That was the last score of the game in last week's 47-12 win for St. Aug over McDonough 35. So St. Aug with the lead, but without their star running back. Movement up front on the right side. So 5:14 left to go. Go ahead.
Snap. False start. Main third down.
Is that rain?
I believe it's raining out there. You see a lot of people take cover, see some umbrellas coming out. We're actually blessed to be up here in the press box. And
there it is. That
right
is
there.
rain. Oh, my gosh. Great shot of it there. That, my friends, Eric, that's what we refer to here in South Louisiana as rain. And there's a reason why the press box and the glass now is suddenly almost can't see through it. But I can see Leonard Fournette breaking free to almost the original line of scrimmage on that 3rd and 20. So a little bit of help in the field position there before this oncoming punt by St. Aug. As David Bartholomew will check out onto the field, number 32, St. Aug's punter. There's a great shot of it. Man, is it coming down just out of nowhere. I mean, I'm talking about a gorgeous, perfect night of football for the first half, and suddenly the rains just have unloaded here at Tad Gormley Stadium.
Still, though, not stopping this crowd from sticking around, and probably had a good chance to see some stadium shots. This place was almost packed for this game.
Speedy Knoll now back. Low snap, line drive punt. Let's see what Speedy can do to it. Picks it up at the last second. Cuts back 40-yard line. Look at him slashing. He is taken down by St. Aug's Devin Haynes. Let's go to break. 4:03 left to go. Third quarter of play. St. Aug, just like we were at halftime. It's 24-14. Back to action. 4:03 left to go. St. Aug clinging to a 10-point lead. Word in the booth. Leonard Fournette warming up. Karr keeping it on the ground. Not much there at all. As again, Dylan Davis, 5'9" senior, getting a brunt of the run. Right now, under 4 minutes to play, losing the helmet. You can just see everybody's in this kind of disarray right now as the rain comes down, helmets are down. Peter Woolard, another flag. Suddenly it's laundry everywhere. It's going to be a face.
70, what number?
Sound like it was on an offensive lineman. Here we go. Dead ball foul, personal foul, so that'll be a 15-yarder. I'm a good lip reader. 24-14. Get a chance to see Leonard Fournette over there in the sidelines. Look at him warming up, getting ready to go into action again. He just joined us. He just didn't play in the first two offensive series, unbeknownst to us. And a live picture of him now. There he is. Certainly a warrior, a guy, a determined individual this season, a guy who wants to finish out his prep career in style. Works hard, rallies the troops, played on the scout team this week, and even told his team one time to have his center on purpose, just kind of roll it back to him, because he played Speedy Knoll on the scout team. You know, not many stars want to play on the scout team, but Fournette was probably your best option to give his defense a look at what it would be like trying to slow down number 2. And speaking of which, Knoll takes that pass, gets first down close to the original line of scrimmage after the penalty, after that face mask. Knoll gets a nice gain, but brings it just back close to that original line of scrimmage. Great look there, the determination of focus of both these guys, Knoll and Fournette. These guys are warriors. They're competitors, Brandon.
Oh, absolutely. You got a chance to see it right there. They refused to lose. He refused to go down. Dragged a couple defenders with him.
Back to live action. Taylor steps up in the pocket. He's going up big time. That one's complete. Way to come back and get the ball is a solid play. Beautiful play. Once again, Joshua Peterson. Haven't called his name much at all tonight. And they needed that. Peterson with those 2 touchdowns last week. Another replay in the Farm Bureau Insurance. Getting a chance to see Kerry Taylor do his thing, stepping up into the pocket and launching one after he comes back and takes it right in front of Roberts. That's a great play by Joshua Peterson.
Another flag down here in the backfield. Looks like this is actually going to work against St. August, going to attack something else onto the play. So maybe the rain having some sort of factor here, Eric, with a sloppy play here in the second half.
Yeah, both teams being penalized, and we're talking the 15-yard kind of penalties too, and that's a big one here. As St. Aug now pinned back at their own 15-yard line as Karr continues to drive, and they continue to do so with Kerry Taylor at the home. Back to the ground. Dylan Davis just exploding through the line. You can see he's excited, and so is the coaching staff up here in the booth. 2:41, 24-14. Third quarter, St. Aug clinging to the 10-point lead. Into the 2:28 left to go. Karr knocking at the door. The LEDC red zone. Going back to the ground. Turning the corner. Again, Dylan Davis. Tough yards. Inside the 5.
going to be close. I thought he had enough for the first down. And I believe he does. So the first and goal here for this Edna Karr team. We talked about it, and now they have some momentum. They have something going for them. Positive yardage on offense. Huge pass play that aided this drive. And here we are.
So Karr looking for the first score of this half for either team, and that ball is picked off. Right in front is Jermaine Roberts, steps right in front of that pass, and Kerry Taylor would like to have that one back. We step aside, taking a break. St. Aug on top 24-14, and Jermaine Roberts comes up with another turnover for the Purple Knights defense. Another look as we go to break. The interception, number 2, a premier cornerback in the state. Third turnover of the game for Karr. It was a costly one. St. Aug takes over at the 20, and look who's back. Number 5, Leonard Fournette, back in the Wildcat. Fully rested, gains 8 yards on that run. Give me the numbers that you just again so eloquently put during the timeout.
Well, you look at the turnover battle here, and it's in favor. Edna Karr's got 3 turnovers, St. Aug 0. However, haven't resulted in any points yet for St. Aug.
Fournette diving for first down yardage, and again, you saw the forward motion right there. He was actually brought down in front of the chains, and he just barreled over the first down yardage marker. I mean, it's incredible the way he falls north and south. I saw a little bit of it last night with Chris Ivory for the Jets in some similar situations. Ivory just always seems to fall forward. Some guys have a knack at it, and that's certainly what Fournette did. His third play of the half, and it's going to be his third run of the half, breaks 3, cuts to the right, breaks some tackles, and then he's brought down at the 35. And we remind you, we're on a live broadcast here in the Tad Gormley Stadium. 24-14, a minute 14 left to go in the third quarter. As right now, Leonard Fournette, after missing the first 2 set of downs, we sent Haley Acero over to the sidelines, and she, again, did not come up with much information because everybody was tight-lipped over there. No one really wanted to talk to her, and, you know, injuries on any level, you don't want to really say what's going on or why a guy's not playing.
Well, it was really odd to see the shoulder pads off and him being worked on at lower extremities and upper extremities, and now he's back, so we really don't know what was going on. There's really no, leg or arm, no idea. Coach
Crutchfield wants a timeout. Look how emotional he is right now. Something is not going well for Coach Crutchfield. He is angry. And there's a lot of that going around on both teams right now. Coach Crutchfield, again, he's a disciplinarian. He's going to get in your face. He's going to tell you what's wrong, and something happens he doesn't like. Like with me, I was shooting highlights the other day of Leonard Fournette doing that, running out of the shotgun and running out of the Wildcat, passing the football all over practice, and I was into it. I was watching it, and Eric, put down the camera. We're not filming that right now. And on the other side, Nathaniel Jones, also all business. In his first year back at his alma mater, back on that 93 state championship team, another one of his high school teammates in the news this week, Patrick Surtain, one of those first-year athletes nominated for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Of course, Surtain led Karr to a state championship back in 93, went on to play collegiately for Southern Miss after being a teammate on the high school level with Coach Jones. And then Patrick Surtain, 11 years with the Miami Dolphins. And Surtain, I can tell you firsthand knowledge from covering Peyton Manning's first few years in Indianapolis. Surtain was a thorn in his side, and that's kind of what Fournette is with not only the Karr Cougars, but to every team that's on his schedule this year. And you think about St. Aug's schedule. I mean, really. Karr Cougars. McDonough 35 went deep into the playoffs last year. So did Holy Cross. Of course, all those teams in the Catholic League, guys like, playing a defending champion in Rummel. He's playing Curtis. I mean, look at the power, the speed and the power and the grace. The Fournette just runs over people. 30 seconds. Look at this play. Just a little flip. And again, a completion. And I believe he's now 3 for 3 as he gets it over to Greg Holmes, who gets out of bounds, stopping the clock with 25 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Leonard Fournette has done a little bit of everything today, including take a couple of series off to open up this second half. if he was resting, and he certainly looks well rested. That time, absolutely nowhere to go. And all kind of white jerseys led by number 90, Gerald Willis, is going to lead the charge. He'll get credit for that tackle with now 18 seconds left to go, and the clock will run. And that'll be it for the first quarter. As you see, Fournette just kind of walks over to the sideline. So after we saw unbelievable highlights throughout this game, we saw 4 touchdowns in the first quarter. We saw 2 more in the second. No touchdowns in the third quarters. So now we go to the Donaldsonville glass collisions as we step aside for the third quarter with ice in the back of Leonard Fournette's neck. We saw a little Tim Tebow-esque pass earlier from Leonard Fournette. Take another look at this play, just like a flip. That's a forward pass, and it was complete. 3 for 3 now passing for Leonard Fournette, including a long touchdown pass to go along with the touchdown reception and the touchdown run. Fournette following the lead block of his tight end on that play. And again, not Charlie Jones that time. Again, it was the backup tight end, the young sophomore, leading the way.
It's going to be awfully close here to a first down to see where it's marked, and looks like they will get a measurement. Never mind. Looks like they're going to move the chain, so enough evidence to be a Purple Knight first down. You see Mr. Fournette just
looking at a proverbial man with boys right there. It's a man amongst boys with he just looks like he's ready for playing big-time college football right now, and you know he can, and it's a much-anticipated decision. The LSU faithful certainly hope that it's his way. He hasn't really let on whatsoever. Alabama certainly in the mix. I know Coach Crutchfield is headed to the Alabama-Texas A&M game tomorrow, and again, the recruiting world a buzz about what number 5 will ultimately decide as far as his collegiate career. And a leader on the field. He's certainly a coach on the field after that penalty. And what did you gather out of that, Brandon?
Well, I don't know exactly what happened here on the field for this penalty, but Edna Karr, it looks like they jumped off sides again, and another yellow flag comes out. See if this works against Edna Karr. You see Coach Jones there on the field.
Encroachment. Defense. First down.
Yep, get the encroachment, you get the first down, and again, penalties and turnovers really starting to haunt Karr. I mean, 3 turnovers. The penalties, which they only had 1, I believe, Brandon, right, in the first half?
Yeah, 1 in the first half for 15 yards. Second half thus far, looking at 6 penalties for 65 yards.
Wow, that's a monster switch from half to half as far as being disciplined and not getting those hankies thrown on the field because of something that you did. Fournette trying to break free, gets to the line of scrimmage. Tackled, and of course the jawing going on now. And that time, after making the play, Lamar Martin had a couple of words with his fellow number 5. It's been a fun football game. A non-scoring third quarter. Who would have thought that after what we saw in the first frame? But now the decisive fourth quarter. Now's the time that mistakes are magnified. And St. Aug certainly hopes to get points out of this drive. Again, it's Fournette to the air. This time it's intercepted by Karr, almost in and out of the hands of Brian Anderson. I thought Anderson had the pick. I honestly did. And it looked like as soon as he hit the ground, the ball kind of knocked it out. If we get another look at that one, I really want to see this, because I thought that Brian Anderson had this interception. Look at him sky up, have the ball, and here he comes down and pop. There goes the ball at the last second. But man, I'll tell you, he really turned Stanley Morgan into a defender. Morgan tried to get a hand in there to cause the interception, but the only thing that caused that interception was the ground. Fournette back up top, and once again, nearly picked. as Lamar Martin got his big hand on that one to knock it down. And suddenly these Leonard Fournette passes are a little risky, the last two especially.
You see right there just two missed opportunities here for this Karr defense to scratch and crawl back into this one. And it's a 24-14 game, and I understand why Crutchfield was so angry with this team, because he knows that if they march in the end zone here, they have the ability to really pull away and put this game at ease. So that's why he was so angry. He had to call that timeout.
Great look there. Fournette now lined up next to Toy Jackson, and he's brought down and after a short gain as well. So you can really just kind of see at the eyes right now, and you could almost see him kind of winded a little bit on that tremendous end zone camera look of Leonard Fournette that we just had on that last play. So it'll bring up a 4th and long situation here. That was 4th down. Again, the scoreboard is locked on 3rd down, so I apologize for going by that. So it'll be a change of possession on downs as Fournette gets stopped after a gain of just about 1 yard. But really, you can tell that Fournette looks a little winded, to be honest. So here we go. Change of possession. Karr needs something to happen offensively. So far, the only thing that's happened for them in this half, turnovers and penalties. Back to Kerry Taylor at quarterback. A quick hit to Jariah Tolbert. Tolbert picks up about a gain of 8. Tolbert's been quiet tonight. 6'3", 190-pound wideout to go along with Joshua Peterson and Glenn Irons to form a really trifecta of weapons. And another penalty comes down, and it looks like this one's going to, again, go against Karr. Is that possible, Brandon?
To see the officials are meeting at midfield. I didn't get a chance to see it. I didn't even actually see the flag on the field.
There's play for offensive pass interference. Neutral zone. Down.
Technical difficulties, the weather obviously affecting. They're going to pick that flag up. And again, Nathaniel Jones wants an explanation. We're trying to get you one. You can see him working down the bottom of your screen there at the 20-yard line, talking to the side judge. Bring it back, and again, the flow of this game has been abruptly stopped with the penalties, the turnovers. Not much offense whatsoever in this half. Complete different football game here in half number 2. So again, it's Taylor. A little bit of pressure, and he throws it away. And that one might have slipped a little bit as well.
And there's flags all over the place. And
yep, more flags coming down.
Downfield. All right. Choice.
Well, again, we caught the last 3 seconds of 3 words, I should say. Downfield. Was it ineligible receiver downfield? Could that have been the call?
I believe that must have been the case, because it is going to work against Edna Karr here.
So yardage, down and distance, all question.
Ineligible receiver downfield. He's declared forward pass. Loss of down. That penalty is accepted. 3rd down.
So an illegal forward pass will trump the illegal receiver downfield. They will take that penalty, back them up even further. Karr now with the ball at looks like their own 10-yard line. They have to go to the 29-yard line for a first down. Speedy Knoll back at quarterback now. He's going to pass. Complete back to the original line of scrimmage as Joshua Peterson with the completion, with the reception. 9:24, and again, with the scoreboard locked, confusion. We can even hear the Karr coaches questioning what down it is. We think it's 4th down.
I believe it is 4th down. I've been keeping stats here, and we've got our guys back in the truck. They're doing a great job here and keeping us abreast. And one point that was brought up, Eric, if Karr loses this game, it's their first loss in over a year.
Yeah. We'll step aside. The defending 4A state champions have been victorious for quite some time. They've been to the Dome 3 years in a row, and certainly Speedy Knoll would like to end his prep career back in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. We're in week 2. We got a lot of work to do for that. 9:07 left to go in this football game. A rainy night in City Park. Tad Gormley Stadium's the location for this wonderful Cox Ford game of the week. St. Aug on top, 24-14. Rainy night here at Tad Gormley. 4th and long situation, deep in their own territory, forcing Karr to punch. Speedy Knoll back to do the honors. Takes some time running. He's going to fake it. He's going to throw for a pass. And look at this. It's deflected by Leonard Fournette, who was the deep man, and that is gutsy. 4th and deep in their own territory at about the inside their own 20-yard line, calling a fake. Speedy Knoll, his intended receiver was Brian Anderson, and another flag on the play, but Leonard Fournette was the deep man on the punt. He comes up playing defense now. Again, you can see other guys that were open. Jawan Ofre wanted the ball, and look at the closing speed by number 5. 2 white jerseys were open for a time, but and a big what if right there for the Karr Cougars on a gutsy call. 24-14 now, under 9 minutes left to play in the game. And if you're St. Aug and Cyril Crutchfield, you got to turn this into points. You haven't turned those turnovers into points, but you got to do here after the fake punt.
Absolutely. 3 turnovers, no points. Got to give credit to this Edna Karr defense. Put some tough spots in this game, and they were able to hold tough. St. Aug came out with the early firepower early on, but Edna Karr's held their gun since.
That's their own 18-yard line. They called that fake. And that's where St. Aug starts this drive. Leonard Fournette, you can just see the pushing and stuff after the play underneath. Fournette, a gain of about 3 on that run. And again, now the time becomes certainly a factor. 8:37 and ticking here in this one. They opened this drive in the red zone. They haven't entered the red zone. They started the drive in the red zone. Just the 15-yard line, the Leighton Ricks red zone. Toy Jackson's done a wonderful game of controlling this offense, managing this offense, making big plays. Play action this time, rolling to his right. He does have a receiver, complete. Ball's knocked out of bounds, but it's going to go out of bounds, and that is lucky for the Purple Knights as Stanley Morgan caught the ball, turned, and right around the 5-yard line he got popped, and luckily for St. Aug, after getting the first down, that ball goes out of bounds. They're going to mark it. Look at that, at the 3.
Great effort there by Stanley Morgan, and get a chance to see it here with the replay. And Toy Jackson able to get the cameraman even to bite on that play action and finds his main guy. Chemistry's been there with him all night. Wait a second.
Wow. Back to live action. Fournette stopped shy of the goal line. Be 2nd and goal from the 1. Leonard Fournette has thrown a touchdown pass. He's got a touchdown reception, a touchdown run. You see him talking out of it. Handoff back to Fournette. Flag on the play as he breaks the plane into the end zone. Referees whistling touchdown, but the white hat says hold the phone. Flag down, so nobody's celebrating right now. See if we can hear the call. So it goes against St. Aug, and they're going to back it up.
Looks like it's going to work against the offense here. Toy Jackson not happy. Saw him with some frustration after that play.
Illegal motion. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Illegal motion. I was going to my referee book. I haven't seen illegal motion mark like that. Maybe that's what it is, and I just never noticed. But I'm asking my fellow partners up here in the media world, what's that? Just being honest here. 24-14. Coach Crutchfield 7 minutes and 30 ticks away from getting a little revenge, but more important for him, just winning another tough football game and starting this year at 2-0. Jackson, stutter step, little delay, and he put the ball on the ground. Is it a fumble? It certainly is. Let's just see if they say it is. Change it downs, it is. Quanta Moore recovers the fumble as Toy Jackson coughs it up 3 times on turnovers. They can't turn it into points, and after a fake punt inside Karr's own 20-yard line, they still can't convert that into points. That one hurts St. Aug.
Chance here to see the Gary Lewis replay. You see Toy Jackson lose control of the ball. That's a good call. That is a fumble there. How about this Edna Karr defense standing up? And that's where that penalty really comes back to get you, because you're sitting down in between the 2 and 1 yard line running in a score. You have an illegal motion, puts you back 5 yards, ensuing play, fumble. This game's not over yet.
Quanta Moore, number 44, you saw him taking a seat on the bench. He gets the fumble recovery, but how about the hit from Javon Walton, number 7, forcing that fumble. Great play. Props to him from his own end zone. Speedy Knoll across the middle. Greg Irons breaking a tackle. He's on his feet, and he's going to get caught inside St. Aug territory right around the 45-yard line. Brandon Williams came up from behind him and caught him after Irons turns and burns up the Karr sidelines for a monster gain. And man, now that missed opportunity by the Purple Knights magnified after the big gain by Glenn Irons, who's had himself a night. Let's look at this one again.
Get a chance to see exactly why this guy is so dangerous, able to throw a tight spiral. And look at Irons. We've seen his breakaway speed in the kick game, and look at him just split these 2 defenders. Say see you later down the field. Lucky they caught him.
Wow, that was a missed tackle in a big-time way right there. And certainly Irons and Knoll and company have had their experience doing that, making defenders look not so good, to put it mildly, on that previous play by Irons. And now suddenly you can just see the momentum a little bit in Speedy Knoll. The pace is picking up even a little bit as he gets the call and goes to the line of scrimmage, and suddenly you can just kind of feel it changing a little bit here after the missed opportunity and the first turnover of the game all night for St. Aug after Karr has turned it over 3 times. Knoll has got plenty of time. How about the time? He's literally standing, he's throwing, and he's completing. What a catch by Kenneth Simmons. Kenneth Simmons making the catch inside the 5-yard line. That was spectacular. Absolutely fantastic play by, I'm going to go to the offensive line by Karr for giving Speedy Knoll so much time that he literally stood, I say he stood in the pocket. Look at him right about here. He's like, oh, let me just go right here. And yeah, that's a touchdown. That is a Kenneth Simmons touchdown. Unbelievable play right there. And again, wow. It don't get much better than that, people. Sophomore wide receiver Kenneth Simmons into the end zone. And one more time, missed opportunities. We have got a football game in our hands. Wow. Brandon, help me out.
I'm sorry, I've just been trying to keep up with the stats here, and we're trying to get some things going, but I'm kind of speechless right here because we've been talking about momentum and establishing it throughout this entire game. We've seen Karr have it out of the gate, lose it through the midway part of this game, and here we are, 6:46 left to go, and all of a sudden it shifted.
Extra point is up, and it's good. Now it's a 3-point game. Great look at number 3, my man Kenneth Simmons. He's all smiles. He's 5'5", and generously listed at 155. Offensive line, give yourselves a star. I apologize, I didn't think he got in. More. My goodness, did he get in. We've got a 3-point game from Tad Gormley and a lot of football to be played. Certainly gave us a testimonial for Mellow Joy coffee last week. Brandon, we need some right now. We're staying awake for this late night game.
I believe Edna Karr, in between the 3rd and 4th quarter,
had a little Mellow Joy coffee?
They had a little Mellow Joy. Had to, because what has happened here, it looks like we might have a penalty here.
Shocking. So look, they'll be kicking off inside St. Aug territory at the 45. You get a great look at Leonard Fournette, and his look is right now of amazement. But again, the competitor, the fierceness of number 5, a coach on the field, wants this state championship this year. And you know, along the way, he would love to get a little revenge. And with the select and non-select ridiculous situation that the state is set in now, we will not get this anytime as a rematch in the playoffs, Karr and St. Aug. But what they can do is avenge a little bit, certainly avenge a little bit of the terrible taste that they suffered last year. And as our producer points out again, of course, St. Aug 5A now as they go up into the reformed Catholic League. And certainly there won't be a showdown with Karr in the playoffs regardless, with my point or Jacob's point in the truck.
I don't know if you had a chance to see on that touchdown pass. He was the one that was beaten deep just now. So a lot of work here tonight for Mr. Fournette.
Yes, I missed a lot on that touchdown, needless to say. Fournette back with the carry, spinning to the 25-yard line. St. Aug on top, 24-21. Again, no scoring whatsoever in the third quarter of play. A gutsy call by Nathaniel Jones and the Karr coaching staff on a fake punt from their own 18-yard line. Incomplete pass, but their defense held. Brandon, you pointed out the Karr defense, been put in some tough situations this whole night. And again, this Karr defense pointing towards their adversaries. They think they're going back 5 yards.
False start. Offense. Remain second down.
Just don't say F. I'm telling those guys. You said it like 5 times.
Man, it's a live booth up here with all the Karr coaches in front of us.
They're asking if you can hear them. I just kind of just reminded him that you can. So here we go. Toy Jackson, that's throwing it behind him. So that was a live ball had Fournette not caught it. So under 6 minutes to play, the Karr defense has held on 3 turnovers from their offense. They've held on a fake punt, and right now they're just trying to stop the number 1 running back along with his highly explosive offensive teammates on a 3rd and 11 situation. Toy Jackson's got plenty of time. Going up top to one of his receivers, and it's picked off. Karr once again with the interception. Their second turnover of the game is Juwan Ofre still on his feet. Ofre now turning it back. Here come the flags. So he makes it right to the floor to leave before he's put down by a St. Aug lineman. And injury on the play as well. Brandon, what do you see?
A young man that's definitely down at the 15-yard line. We'll have to see how all this shakes out. What an outstanding play. Interception happened about the 45-yard line, but you had a chance to see. Hopefully our truck got it. You saw a young man flying in, and then with the block, as soon as you saw it, Gerald Willis, that's what it sounds like, who's down. That's unfortunate. We hope he's okay, but if you get a chance to see maybe in the replay, you saw a white shirt fly in late, looked like maybe a block in the back, and that's when all the flags came out.
I mean, you see him in excruciating pain, but again, the way they're working it out, it looks like a cramp. And again, you see the congratulatory play over there from Juwan Ofre after the interception.
On return team, 15-yard penalty. First.
Also down on that play was Williams, number 93. He was brought down as well, but again, the momentum has shifted, and it is palpable. You can feel it here, and what a turn of events since the fake punt. Another look, and a great job of that offensive line by St. Aug, but even better job as the pass went over Stanley Morgan's hands into the outstretched arms, again, of Juwan Ofre, an Oklahoma State verbal commit. And man, he stayed on his feet a while, but again, a lot of guys blocking away from the ball at that point. But, let's just set it up. At midfield, Karr at the 50-yard line, 5:27 left to go. Knoll with the rush, gets out of it. There's a reason why they call him Speedy. At the 30, the 20-yard line, still on his feet. At the 10, all the way inside the 5-yard line. That's a 42-yard plus run by the man they call Speedy.
You talk about excitement here. We're not outside, we're here in the booth, and just like we talked about, we had the Edna Karr coaching staff in front of us. I remember the tight quarters at Martin Berman for the semifinal to get to the state championship last
Cross.
year.
Yes,
and
indeed.
It's on that level in here right now. Outstanding effort here. Just like you hear the coaches, you probably heard them say, that's why we call you Speedy. Get after it, number 2. And there you see it right there.
Wow.
Game changer.
He even stepped over one of the top defensive players in the state, Jermaine Roberts, right there, into the Leighton Ricks red zone, into the end zone for a touchdown. Speedy Knoll. He brought him down there to the 3, and why not take it in himself? Speedy Knoll. A salute to the crowd as Karr retakes the lead, and for Speedy Knoll, he scored the game's first touchdown. He scored the last one.
We talked about missed opportunities in this game for St. Aug. St. Aug was able to force 3 turnovers so far in the game, including a crucial turnover on downs. Unable to get points on any of them. You see here Edna Karr's defense forcing turnovers, able to get points on each trip. You see here maybe make it 14 off of turnovers, pending the extra point.
Lined up is Carl Roberson, the lefty. High snap. Irons takes it, and look at this fire drill. Irons one man to beat, and he can't do it. That was all right. They called fire after the high snap, and Glenn Irons tried to get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion, but with 5:10 left to go in this game, we've got a ton of football in front of us, friends. Can you take it? 26-24. The Cougars on top of the Purple Knights here from Tad Gormley. Speedy Knoll into the camera, trying to get these fans at Tad Gormley Stadium into it. Speedy with a touchdown pass moments ago to Kenneth Simmons. Then the long 45-yard run inside the 5 where he took it in himself from 3 yards out. And suddenly, the Karr Cougars have regained the lead in this football game, and now it's up to the Purple Knights offense. Must answer at this point after what we've seen transpire in about the last 5 minutes.
You have to wonder, what does Leonard Fournette have left in the tank here? Been playing offense, defense, and special teams. Great touchback there. We've talked about the Edna Karr offensive line on that last couple series, really getting it done, giving Speedy some time, giving him some holes and stuff to work with. But we have to give a lot of credit to this defense, which hasn't broken against this St. Aug offense.
And remember the numbers you gave, the total yards offensively St. Aug had racked up? And that's when you kind of look at the Karr defense and you're like, oh, Taurus Howard, the 94 grad from Karr, he must be going, I can't believe how many yards we're letting up. But right now, their defense has been really the story of the game to hold St. Aug out of the end zone on numerous occasions when they were pinned back deep. And the offense, they have let Speedy do his thing. Leonard Fournette right now can't get back to the line of scrimmage. And right now, it's a battle of the trenches right now, because right now the Karr defensive line, led by that guy, big number 90, Gerald Willis, they're getting the push, Brandon. They are getting the push.
Under 5 minutes here in the final quarter of this game, as good as advertised. Started out with the fireworks early on, subsided. Fireworks are back.
They are back, and here we go. Toy Jackson, complete to Morgan, and just as he got the ball, incomplete pass, he got hit by Donnie Alexander. A well-timed defensive play. It'll bring up a 3rd and long situation. 3rd and long.
Coming up with the big play here on defense, and Edna Karr's last 2 trips forced a turnover. Both times led the points.
The Mellow Joy scoring drive, you saw 2 plays, 50 yards, and it was all Speedy Knoll. He rushed for all 50 of them. So here we go, 3rd and long. Toy Jackson, pocket collapses, incomplete pass. Went to Stanley Morgan, but he was off balance. Didn't get much on the throw. It'll bring up a punting situation. with 4:30 left to go. And you can hear some of the Karr coaches in front of us say they got to go for it. And I don't know how you could go for it, even though we've seen stranger things tonight. Certainly Karr faked one from their own 18-yard line.
Be a tough call here to go for it. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. There's still some football left to be played here.
You got to have a stop. Obviously, right now, Coach Crutchfield's defense, they have got to come up big after this punt. And again, special teams, where it's no gimme right now. First of all, you got to get the punt off, and then leave it up to Mike Lee's St. Aug defense to see if they can finally contain Speedy Knoll. Punt is off from Bartholomew. It's a short punt. Now it gets a bounce, and it's going to get down at about the 48-yard line of Karr. So the Cougars will start actually in St. Aug territory at the 48-yard line, just 2 yards different from where they started their last drive, which took all of Speedy Knoll 2 plays to rush into the end zone. So you can see it right now, a dejected St. Aug sideline. And right now it comes down to Karr's offense trying to maintain the possession, but the bottom line is it comes down to St. Aug's defense. That's what I'm trying to say. Knoll with the handoff. Now we'll go back to the ground for the Karr Cougars. Get a run from Dylan Davis. Again, you can see the scoreboard kind of coming in and out, and there's all kind of weather problems. You hear the white hats mic coming in and out. Certainly want to apologize for technical difficulties, and kudos to the crew going through a massive little South Louisiana rainstorm with all this TV equipment and the cables and the wires. Kudos to them for a job well done, and really you wanted a good broadcast tonight with the subject matter, Karr versus St. Aug, and what a performance these young men have put on, and look at the performance by Davis. Just a refuse to go down mentality right now, and that's really this entire Karr football team. And the momentum has shifted here in the fourth quarter. Twinkle toes, is that what I hear from the truck? A replay just like it. Look at him dancing down and staying in bounds, and the clock continues to get chewed up.
Dylan Davis just keeps showing why he is a prospect here for this team. Able to make something happen and pick up a crucial first down. 3 minutes, 15 seconds and counting.
Again, it's Davis chewing up yards and time, bouncing off tackles and showing some grit and determination right now on that run. And again, Karr continues to just jam it down St. Aug's throat on this possession, which ultimately could determine this football game. The way Karr's momentum is just coming downfield right now, as you see under 3 minutes to play in this contest. And you just wonder if Superman and number 5 has something left when they come back offensively, and we'll see what they have to do to see if, first of all, this Karr offense can be stopped right now. The last couple of possessions, it hasn't been. They keep it on the ground. Dylan Davis, a machine right now. Short yardage situation, and I believe he got a first down. Hard to tell from the chains. As crystal clear as that shot is from our camera crew, it looks like a bad air condition gone wrong inside the press box. The condensation cannot even see out of the broadcast booth right now.
Definitely a first down.
As once again, the Karr Cougars have advanced into the Leighton Ricks red zone. I can tell you there's just over 2 minutes left to play in this contest. Speedy Knoll's going to pass. Again, plenty of time. Reloads and connects to Joshua Peterson, is into the end zone. Joshua Peterson with Leonard Fournette there, tackling him, but too late. Another touchdown by the Karr Cougars, who've now scored 3 consecutive times here in the fourth quarter, and they have owned this game in the late going.
Fourth quarter has definitely most positively been dominated and owned by Edna Karr. Perfectly put there, Eric, as you get a chance to see this play. Speedy Noel just able to go from the balls of his feet, then sit flat-footed and just make this throw, make it look easy. His receiver, number 8, Peterson, able to just muscle down and just see Fournette once again on defense. The young man's probably tired, a little bit worn out.
Well, you saw he broke tackles from 3 of his teammates, and Fournette was kind of like the free safety, if you will, in that play. The extra point just up and to the right of the upright. So a rare missed extra point from the Karr Cougars, and it's a 1-possession game. That was a big miss, because now, of course, the 2-point conversion after a touchdown, and we've got a tie football game. Dare I say overtime. 32-24. Karr Cougars absolutely have turned it up in the 4th quarter. A Speedy Noel touchdown pass, a Speedy Noel touchdown run, and then another Speedy touchdown pass brought into the end zone by his wide receiver, Joshua Peterson.
Is it really just week 2? That's what I'm thinking this whole time watching the transgression of this 4th quarter. It's really only the 2nd week of the season, and we have a playoff-type atmosphere. Yeah. And guess what? It's on Cox 4's Game of the Week.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's something we knew. We knew this game would be this type of intensity, would bring out this type and these 2 adversaries. Warriors last year, Nathaniel Jones getting his first dose of it back here at his alma mater, replacing Jabbar Jalouk. As you see him give some love after a 5-play, 48-yard scoring drive. Touchdown reception from Peterson from quarterback Speedy Noel.
It's good to see the offense get back on track here. As you felt in the 2nd and 3rd quarter, it didn't look like they were on the same page. The timing was off.
Remember the stat you gave about 3 offensive possessions, their first 3 as opposed to their middle 3?
157 yards, and the next 3, 6.
From Karr's offense, but they have rejuvenated and then some, showing some resiliency after falling behind to the Purple Knights at one point, down 24-14. That was the score we went to halftime. It stayed that way throughout going into the 4th quarter. And here comes Leonard Fournette. Don't go anywhere yet, and rolling over people as he just absolutely put the shoulder down against the defender, Javon Walton, and they had some words, but that was mano a mano after that play. That was physicality on some big old power. 32-24, a minute 41 left to go, 4th quarter of play. Cox 4 Game of the Week, and this one every bit as exciting as we said in our pregame show. Must-see television was brought up for games like this. Competitors like number 7, Javon Walton, Toy Jackson, back in the shotgun formation, got some time, fling it across the middle, almost intercepted, in and out of the hands. Let's go to Haley Acero. They're telling me on the sidelines is ready for more.
All right, the excitement is contagious here in the Edna Karr stands. I'm here with the Karr Cougar girls. Let's see what they can do. Let's go, girls, break it down. Waiting for the band to get our...
Timing's everything in television sometimes. Toy Jackson across the middle. That's complete. Stanley Morgan hangs on to it. And that'll bring up a third. Looks like a short situation as 1:23 and ticking right now. Stanley Morgan already with 1 touchdown reception in this game. Right now just trying to move the chains, continue this game. Leonard Fournette with the carry. Gerald Willis is all over him, and he gets some help from Lamar Martin to bring down big number 5 short of the first down. Bringing up one more time, Haley. There she goes. Go, Haley. Haley says, I'll make my own party. There she goes. Wow. All right, back to the game. Toy Jackson again, rolling out of the pocket, still on his feet, now knocked out of bounds. And that was that.
Wow, what a huge play there, and that's just unfortunate for Toy Jackson. Kind of got twisted up, hit the big guys chasing him. Maybe didn't really realize where he was or how close he was to the sideline. Unfortunately, gets forced out of bounds.
41 seconds left to go in this game. You see the frustration of Toy Jackson. The NOLACatholicLeague.com Player of the Week just a week ago. Dejection City right now on the Purple Knights sideline. Cyril Crutchfield and the Purple Knights will have to wait another year to get another crack at the Karr Cougars, because with 41 seconds left to go, Karr has seemingly clinched another victory over the Purple Knights thanks to three fourth quarter touchdowns has been the difference in this football game. 41 seconds. We've got our contour airing it out play on deck before this game is over. Referees stopping things. Delay of game. Let's go to that right now if we can. Our contour from Cox airing it out play of the game, and it came from number 5, Leonard Fournette, playing out of the Wildcat as he did throughout practice this week. They worked on this play, and they did not put him back there just to run around. They put him back there to pass, and now there it is. Actually, this is the reception to Leonard Fournette, who went 92 yards on this one on the airing it out contour on Cox, airing it out play of the game.
Back up, man. Hey, back up, man. Back up, coaches.
And this will be it. The last play of the game. Karr Cougars 32-24. There won't even be a play. They'll just let the time tick away to 0. And the second week of the season will be awfully tough to top on the Cox 4 Game of the Week, as 2 of the top teams in the country duke it out. Leonard Fournette, Speedy Knoll, Gerald Willis, Lamar Martin. Unbelievable football game.
You're always in the game when you have a player named Speedy. Knowles, the Cougars quarterback, leads a huge comeback win for Edna Karr, scoring 20 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to take a 34-24 win over Leonard Fournette and the St. Augustine Purple Knights. After a great first half for Fournette, the Cougars defense was able to negate Fournette and held the Purple Knights scoreless in the second half. A big win for the number 1 ranked Metro team. Edna Karr would go on to win 13 games in 2013, falling short of a second straight title, losing to East Jefferson in the Louisiana 5A playoffs. St. Augustine went 9-2, with its only other loss coming in the second round of the 4A playoffs to Archbishop Rummel. Well, thanks for watching. I'm Chris Harris, and we'll see you soon on another classic high school football game on Your View.